What's up, everybody? What's up, Colliders? It's the kid JW. It's Ms Diva Talks.
What's up, y'all?
And welcome to another episode of TikTok Mills. And what's something that you were not prepared for in the corporate world? Kiss
People.
asses. Oh, we're going with people? Oh, people.
What did you say?
Kiss asses.
Oh, yeah, those two.
Yeah.
Asshole managers.
Yup. Employees have spotless perfect records. Still get the job wrong.
Without further ado, let's check out this video.
Something you were not prepared for in the corporate world. I'll go first.
Corporate pick-me people. I commented something similar on someone else's video, and I got an overwhelming amount of responses that were like, oh, I know this person, I know that type of person. And it's just someone who knows everyone in the company, is friends with everyone in the company, and just wants to be in everyone's business, always has something to say unprompted, and is always condescending. Before, in my previous company, I had people like this. They just weren't on my team, so I kind of ignored them. But this girl is currently on my team. And she does have a lot of knowledge, so she does help me out sometimes. But, ooh, the condescendingness gets me. It bothers me. Now, I was at a corporate company prior, and we were at the same position. She's been at the company longer than I have, but she came from a different department. I'll never forget one time she proceeded to explain every detail of what a town hall meeting was. And I was like, girl, I've worked in a corporate company before. Like, I know what a town hall meeting is.
Something you were not.
The pick-me's. They're probably the absolute worst.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I fucking hate them too.
I like to call them the Randalls of corporate America.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a recess reference for those who didn't get that.
Not prepared for in the corporate world.
How little doing your job well actually matters. Most of the people who are able to move up and who are successful in corporate are people who know how to play the game, who know how to get along with leadership, who are good communicators, and who make sure the work that they do gets recognized. The people who are great at their jobs are just that. They're great at doing the jobs they are in, and as a result, leadership will not promote them.
Something you were not prepared
Where's the lie?
Yeah.
for in the corporate world.
You have to be an ass kisser to get promoted. You can be the best, but if you're not good at kissing ass, you're not getting anywhere. If you weren't raised to glorify other people, you're going to be in your same job forever.
Something you were not prepared for in the corporate world.
I hate that that's such a harsh truth
Yeah.
when it comes to being in corporate America.
Yeah.
How often people in management have no idea how to do just basic tasks? I mean, it's one thing if you don't have time, but I had this manager once who asked me to come into his office, hands me a calculator, and he says, I want to give this person a promotion. Please calculate a 30% raise for him. So not only could this guy apparently not do a simple calculation, I'm pretty sure HR would have frowned upon the fact that I knew somebody else's salary.
Something you were not prepared for
I'll say.
Right.
in the corporate world. I'll go first.
Getting an answer to a question. So what you would believe that you could go ahead and just pick up the phone and call somebody and get the answer to a question, well, you're wrong. You're going to have to put that question into an email. You're going to have to send it to the original person that you thought you could pick up the phone and call, but you're wrong. So you're going to go have and CC their peers as well, because they might have the answer to the question too. And then they're going to go ahead and add somewhere between 2 to 3 people on this email thread and do a reply all asking questions about the question. And it's going to go back and forth somewhere between 5 to 10 business days. During that time frame, you're also going to have some Joe who starts a sidebar conversation, totally derailing everything that's progressed in the last, 3 to 5 business days. And then finally, what's going to happen is the original person that you probably could have just picked up the phone and got the answer is going to give you a call, and they're going to give you the answer to the question, but they're going to tell you that you're going to have to reply all in the email thread to make sure that everybody knows that you got the answers to the question, and now you can proceed with your job.
If that ain't the truth,
Right.
If that ain't the truth.
My pet peeve is people who hit reply all. That's the one that's gonna make me just strangle. It's gonna make me have a nice talking to.
But here's what you can do for people who hate reply all.
BCC.
No. All you have to do is go back to the original email and click ignore conversation. It will literally delete that email and any other email that somebody hit reply all to.
I did that one by mistake, and I had to have my boss send me something like, "Can you?" So, what happened? I don't know what happened to it.
But yeah, that's a tip for anybody who is like us and hate reply all.
Well, depending if you're, because with Outlook you can customize it. Certain roles that's not, but like some people can like unsend messages.
Yeah, I showed you that.
Yeah, my email, how my company has it, we can't unsend messages. So I think it's all in your roles. It's assigned to you. Yeah.
It's great.
Something you were not prepared for in the corporate world. I'll go first.
Drugs. Not weed. Like drugs. And people being able to like function and do their job while they're on drugs.
Something you were not prepared for.
It's possible though.
Yeah, I knew someone who did coke and he was phenomenal at his job.
I think that's why.
Yeah, top seller and everything. So he was always going to the corporate events, the elite clubs, and he did coke.
There you go.
Or in the corporate world. I'll go first.
I was not prepared for the amount of bullying that happens in the corporate world.
Bullying?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yes, bullying in corporate world is...
I ain't never experienced no bullying.
You
I
have.
ain't never witnessed it.
You have. You just never knew. But it's a motherfucker.
Okay.
Shit, we can talk.
And that HR and the executives can know about the bullying and will do nothing about it to protect others.
Something you were not prepared for in the corporate.
But what kind of bullying can you do in corporate?
So in corporate America, bullying is considered the ones who's constantly hounding somebody's ass, to being quote unquote tyrannos and making your whole day a living hell.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, like the bosses that's constantly is always on your ass, but they're not everybody else's ass, or the ones that's always like, oh hey, by the way, you were late a couple times, but to somebody else it's not, or the employees is like, oh, what are you doing? This, that, yeah.
I've never gone through that.
Yeah, that's bullying.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, it's bullying in the corporate world.
Corporate world.
Okay, if you're a new grad and you're a few months into your first job, I feel like you can relate to this. I graduated college 9 months ago with a computer science degree, and I've been at my first job for about 7 months. Something I've been struggling with lately is that for most of our lives up to this point, there's always been somebody to tell you what the next step is. And when you get to the corporate world, there is no roadmap. I think it's very rare for somebody's first job to be their dream job. And for me, there's a lot of things I like about my job and a lot of things I don't like. But overall, I know I don't want to stay in this role for very much longer. But then it's like, okay, when do I leave? What do I go do? How do I make that happen? This can be really hard, especially when you're really excited about your first job, but then it just comes time to move on. So if you're further on in your career, how did you navigate this? Tell me everything.
Something you were not prepared for in the corporate.
I mean, that is something to think about.
I got fired from my first job, so there's that.
Okay.
Laid off on the next 4 jobs I had. Also almost laid off, but quit to go to a different job. Got fired from. So yeah, 10 years into my career now, I'm good. I like my career.
You have an elaborate history, don't you?
Hey, but that's how you figure out where you want to work and what you know you ain't gonna do. Like, through layoffs, through firings and stuff, or just saying, fuck it and leave.
Yeah, I've done that one.
Yeah.
The amount of just blatant, like, outright breaking of laws by some of these higher up guys. I have legitimately heard the vice president of East Coast operations actually say out of his mouth that he required the people in the office to work 8-hour days with a 1-hour lunch because he knew, like, the 1-hour lunch was mandatory, but he knew that they weren't actually going to take that 1-hour lunch, and that he would actually be getting closer to 45 hours of production out of these employees while only paying them 40 hours. Like, he knew what he was doing. He did it on purpose. It was intentional. I could say that he's been fired now, but yeah.
Something you were not prepared for in the corporate world.
Right, I thought it was...
Because to me, working in retail, that just seems like, that's like, oh, that's just normal for us.
Right.
When you work in retail...
8 hours.
8 hours. Lunch. If you remember, like, oh, like when I worked at, Target, when you're on the floor, you work, so you forget that you got to take a lunch and stuff, or breaks. But how their system is, like for your punches and stuff, it automatically alerted leaders. So if you was past your break time, they're like, hey Jason, go take your break. Yeah. Yeah. But it's hard to, like, sometimes if you in that zone, you forget to, or if you're in the factory, you just go. So yeah. But I thought he was going with something totally different.
Me too.
Next.
World.
95% of companies' culture is bullshit. They don't actually...
Duh.
They care about your personal life or you're just another employee to them. They'll typically pretend like they care about culture by buying people lunch, doing team events outside of work hours. But if it comes down to it, they will lay you off in a second with no remorse. Also, office politics. Like if you don't fit in with the company you work with, good luck.
Something you were...
Why you say you don't fit in?
Cause like I can tell, I can like me because like again, been doing this for 10 years in this whole industry, so I can spot bullshit from a mile away. I can tell because I'm a people. I can read a person well. I can tell when it's like, oh, okay. I can tell when it's like, oh, I'm still the outcast or whatever. I'm not fitting in. Cause I don't kiss ass. I don't give a fuck. Run me my money. I'm just here to do my job and get the fuck out. However, I will show up if you're buying free drinks and free food. I will show up to those events.
Yeah, no, I'm still not showing up.
We're not prepared for it in the corporate world.
I'm going to say something controversial, but high achievers, instead of being celebrated, are actually punished in the corporate world, and I was not prepared.
Something you were not...
Wait, what did you say?
High achievers, the ones who's high achieving, they get punished in the corporate world.
Oh, well, duh.
Yeah, again, I know this.
prepared for it in the corporate world. I'll go first. That this sound would not only trigger every single fight or flight response in my body, but also single-handedly control the trajectory of my life. Something you were not prepared.
Yeah.
That's the Teams call, Zoom call, all of them calls. It's like, oh.
What now?
What did I do?
Prepared for it in the corporate world.
To have to explain to HR professionals and higher level managers that just because they did not see any type of struggle coming from me externally, that I still qualified for reasonable accommodations under the Americans with Disabilities Act because of my dyslexia and ADHD, and having to reinforce the fact that just because they did not see an external struggle, that it didn't mean it wasn't there.
Something you were not...
Yeah.
That's very true. That's very true.
Because I feel like a lot of companies think that Americans with disabilities, that's like they can see the physical struggles and whatnot, but they don't take into account like, yo, bro, it's a lot of internal shit that goes on.
Yeah, I can tell you every job I've had to basically work outside of work to make my job easier for me.
What?
I had to work outside of work to make my job easier for myself.
Yeah.
Because, okay, so especially like right now, so when you are learning the job, I have to simplify shit for myself.
Oh, okay. Well,
because,
live with that.
But no, I'm saying I have to do that off the clock. There's no time to do it on the clock. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So yeah, I have to, make sure that after the day is over, I, took in what I was supposed to learn, but make it simplified for myself to do the job, because the way they teach it is bullshit. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
All right.
Yeah.
I think, because I've said it too, it's like, I think a lot of times, that's why like the people who like, I don't want to call them slow, because they talk slow as shit, they do everything painstakingly fucking forever. It's like, bro, just do it like this, it's quicker.
Right. Get to the point.
Like them
Stop going around in a damn circle and just get to the point.
I feel like those kind of employees who do it like that, they're the ones who always gets promoted and whatnot, because they're patient. They take their time. When the person like me, who's straight to the point, like, yo, do A plus B equals C. That's it. That's how you do it. Don't worry about the what else. This is it. I'm straight to the point. So yeah, and then too, I would say with me, sometimes if I'm reading something, it gets jumbled in my head. Like, I can read it, but it gets jumbled sometimes.
Exactly.
So I gotta sit like, all right, but then companies don't understand the mental aspect. It's like, yo, the way you're teaching sucks. Let me do it my way.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Simplify everything.
But once you get employed, you can just do it your fucking way and say, fuck it.
That is also true.
Not prepared for it in the corporate world.
No matter how above and beyond you go as an employee, when it's time for reviews and pay, manager discretion will always trump your productivity, your metrics.
Something you were not prepared.
That is also very true.
Exactly. It is very, very true.
Prepared for it in the corporate world. I'll go first.
How much information your work friends know about you that your friends of like 10 or 12 years don't know about at all. Think about it.
Not true. Yeah, again,
I get where she was going with that.
I do too.
Because you spend a lot of time at work than you do with friends outside.
And hence why a lot of people, like in this case, like they say, how people who work together end up dating and being related because you spend more time with your co-workers than you do your personal life. Mm-hmm. So it's like, yeah, I've been places like, one of my best friends, worked with her for like 3 years. She quit, but because she knew everything, we're still good friends. I knew everything about her life. She knew everything about mine. You got people like that, who you click with, who know everything.
True.
But then you also got to realize, hey, which one of the motherfuckers is always telling shit about people. And like, I make it a fact to be friends. Like when I worked at another company, I made it a fact to be cool with the office gossiper. Because they doubled as the office snitch too.
Randall.
So I make point to be, oh, hey, yeah. So that way they think I'm involved. Like, oh, yeah. Like, what's going on with you? Not really. I'm a home. I said to myself, But they see me with everybody else, so they always engage me for information because they know anybody go talk to them, but they'll talk to me because I got the personality. So I look at like, I'm gonna get cool with the enemy. So in turn, the enemy and the enemy can work together and never know when I might have to call on the enemy to be like, hey, or that enemy may have to call. We have a mutual person in touch. Boom.
Okay.
You were not prepared for it in the corporate world.
Meetings. Hands down, was not prepared for the amount of meetings that you would have to be emotionally and mentally prepared for.
Something you were not prepared.
Yeah, because
fucking hate it.
How many times have we been in any meeting that could have been a fucking email?
Now, fortunately,
let's talk about the people who like to make the meetings longer by asking redundant questions.
Oh God, here we go.
That's all I had to say. You can take it.
Oh, I was gonna say, fortunately for me, we haven't had too much have to be in meetings a lot, so thank goodness for that. But it's a lot of times I do see the reference like, well, sometimes we do have a team house, like we really could have just had an email sometime.
Exactly.
But it's like it's cool. Like when I worked at another company, the other cable company in the country, we had we had a team huddles once a week. You know how it goes. But still, I'd be like, yo, some of these huddles can really be emails. Mm-hmm. So I get it.
Like, you just want to bother me.
But I ain't gonna hold you up, though. Sometimes I like those meetings, especially if I'm having a bad sales day, to meet that hour off phones, and tie right into my lunch hour. Take me off. We can have these calls right now.
Nope, I would still rather be on the phone.
Prepared for it in the corporate world.
That all that project management feels like some days is babysitting grown-ass adults to do the job that they're paid money to do.
Something you were not prepared for in the corporate world.
Feeling like I never fit in and never being valued commensurate with my worth. Feeling excruciating boredom and lack of fulfillment with one single job role. Because I'm an insatiably curious, multi-passionate individual. So knowing that I'm high potential, I'm capable of outperforming nearly anyone around me, and I can't sit still, I created a lot of opportunities for myself. I positioned myself as a go-to resource, had exposure to and worked directly with executive level leadership, and I had a lot of great experiences. However, I was often invited to the table and had a voice at the table, but rarely had governance at the table. And most of my visionary ideas and creative solutions hit a brick wall. Because getting ahead in the corporate world does not hinge on merit. If you're brimming with potential and you're known to get shit done, people want to exploit that. If you don't have an appetite to play the political game and you're unwilling to sacrifice your values, your ability to thrive, showcase your full suite of capabilities, and perform at your personal best will likely be thwarted. This is why companies lose their best people. We decide we're just going to have to do it ourselves.
Something you were not prepared.
Also true.
Very true.
Prepared for in the corporate world.
Definitely how incompetent some leaders and businesses are and how they can still be successful anyway, at least in the short term. Before getting into the corporate world, I used to think it was like only the best and the brightest that would rise to the top, and now I just know that's not true.
Something you were not prepared for in the corporate world. I'll go first.
That The Office is a real-life example of what you will find in any company office. That each character you can point out within your office and you will have within the first month.
What's the most...
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. So I love watching The Office. It's on the real world. It's, parody of what the office it's like.
But in all honesty, I've always looked at corporate America as just another...
High school?
No. I wish. Just another example of a plantation.
I wasn't going that far.
Just think about it. Corporation is nothing but another plantation. When you really think about it, when you really sit down and put all the keys together, that's exactly what a corporation is. It's a modern day plantation. It just is what it is.
The link fuck what I said. The link you can find this video and the original one will be in the description below. Links where you can find me, Ms Diva Talks, on our respective platforms will be below as well. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this if you haven't already, because we know y'all asses is coming back for these controversial statements as well too. And yeah,
I said what I said.
We'll catch y'all next time.
Bye, y'all.